This should be really, really good stuff. The big question on our mind tonight should be which runners are going to do that early ice route. And we were talking about this a little bit pre-game here, and I think the only one that's going to do that early ice route is apathyduck. Though I am not that familiar with the Sasho boss. So we'll see how things go. Right. So let's talk a little bit about how this kind of goes. Right. We've got Cirrus Station. Right. What are some of the main tricks that we normally see in Metroid Boiled Shrimp? Right. We got our mock ball trick. Right.
Yep.
All right. What other kind of tricks have we got? Big tricks that we're going to be seeing here tonight.
Maybe CWJs.
Okay. Well, so this being 100%, they're going to be going to get various suit first. And they'll all have speed booster before, because they're going to go down to Kraid, right? To go get that various suit in order to be able to complete the wreck ship and collect all the items there, right? So they need that speed booster for that. The reserve tank that's up there, right?
Yes.
So it's unlikely we'll see a CWJ. You never know. Somebody they can still do it. They can absolutely still do that. But I would actually expect more ocean flies, right? Where they're going to use that speed booster. They're going to charge that up. They're going to get a shine spark, and they're going to kind of fly into the moat. They're going to fire either a missile, a super missile, or a charged up shot. And try to open the door and then fly all the way across the ocean. Really cool, spectacular trick.
Completely forgot about that one.
Oh yeah, that one's. I tell you, I look forward to that. There's one thing that I really love about 100% runs are that it's a lot of really cool. There's really cool shine sparks that you get to see, including that one. Then on top of that, you're going to get to see a lot of spring ball strats, right? Because spring ball, you have to pick that up here in 100%. Now that's something you were talking to your randomizer guy. In randomizer, man, you get that spring ball, and there's so many cool things you can do with it.
Like spring ball jumps over in lower Norfair, over in Meridia.
Yeah, I doubt we're going to see any of those tonight in 100%, but still, dude, we're going to see some really cool things with the spring ball. They'll just start automatically using it once they pick it up after they get into Meridia. We see all our runners. They've done Cirrus Station now. They're going through that. And they're going to be coming through here in old Brinstar. This is very kind of, right, old hat. Every Metroid run starts off like this. They're gonna pick up.
Speaking of cool tricks, they also just did what was called Moonfall.
Yeah, that one of the newer tricks. We kind of picked that up about I want to say a year. No, I mean I guess it's been 2 years or so, 2 or 3. Yeah, it's newer. Anyway, what happens there with that is basically you kind of walk backwards with the moonwalk enabled. You walk backwards off of the ledge. And you kind of jump off the ledge at a precise time, and Samus kind of starts falling. She starts falling, and her speed there is no longer capped. So, as we noticed through the climb there, or the fall, as some like to call it, Samus was able to actually just fall all the way down the right side, and even actually fall through one of the blocks there, which is really cool. It saves a ton of time in that room if you're doing that Moonfall versus doing it regularly. So something tough coming up. Our runners here are coming into the climb. This room is probably one of the most difficult rooms, especially to optimize in the game. We see Demon doing a behemoth climb, while apathyduck taking on the kind of the right side wall jump climb. Really, really tough room to optimize. Really tough to get all the way. So, what else is a really cool trick that's coming up?
The Alcatraz escape.
Exactly, that Alcatraz escape, man. Oh, I love that. Even in randos, I like doing that. Really enjoy doing that Alcatraz escape.
It saves so much time getting out of Torizo's area.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh, yeah. So one time, I think it was in a rando race. I'm at the end of the race, and I went down to save the animals for some reason, and I was ahead.
Oh, I've got to save them animals.
Yeah, so I went down to save them, and then I didn't have bombs. So if a funny factoid, if you don't have bombs and you save the animals, the blocks don't open up as they would normally. So I had to Alcatraz escape while the whole world was shaking.
Sounds like a shaky situation.
It was trouble. So here with Bomb Torizo, what our runners are going to want to do is they're going to want to fire off 5 power beam shots and then get 7 missiles into Bomb Torizo. One thing that's going to be really important coming out of this fight is having 99 energy, so Bomb Torizo drops all missiles. So they can pick up 5 missiles to make sure that they can open up that red door to do that early mock ball to supers.
You were talking about mock balls a little bit ago. We're about to see our first instance of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's how we get the early supers over in Green Bryn.
Yep. Yeah, I this trick, another one of, I think for a speedrunner, for anybody who wants to kind of get into speedrunning this game, this is definitely one of the first things you want to learn. It's going to enable a lot of different things. And what you're going to basically do is you're going to run through the door, you're going to jump up, and just before Samus touches the ground, you're going to ball up and kind of do the Hadouken motion, right? With the down to over. And you're going to ball up right as she hits the floor in that same frame. And then you're going to keep your run speed. And you're going to be able to fly right under those collapsing doors. It's a really cool trick. We're going to see that a ton. We've actually already seen it a couple of times.
Yeah, I need to work on that a little bit. I can do like a maximum height jump for it, but I have a lot of problems with the short hops.
Yeah. One of the really cool things about this room and in 100%, we're actually going to see the hardest mock ball in the game here. Looks like Lake Demon's coming up on it here, and this reverse mock ball escape. Oh,
so close.
Yeah, that is literally the hardest mock ball in the game to get. So we'll see if
apathyduck gets it.
Yeah,
Except
nicely done. No, it's okay. So Duck did that on purpose. He wants to get those missiles. This is 100%. Yep. Does not want to miss those because coming back to get them will be a pain in the butt. So something that we're going to see a couple of times throughout the run is runners are going to skip over some items. So as we come into Big Pink here, our runners are going to collect that vaunted charge beam. But you're going to notice that there's a missile pack that's right kind of next to that charge beam. Our runners are not going to get that. And the reason for that is it's much, much faster. Well, I wouldn't say much, much faster, but it's definitely faster to come and pick it up while you're waiting for a power bomb to explode a little bit later on to come down into waterway to collect the waterway each. So we'll see the runners pick that up. And we'll see that kind of stuff happen a couple of times where runners they skip over stuff. But we are going to have to wait through all the credits to verify that our runners get 100%. No 99% runs here tonight. I doubt we're going to see that.
I doubt so too, but you can never tell. It's so easy to forget some items.
It is, but I mean, all these runners went through the qualifiers to even get here. So, I mean, they're familiar with their routes, and they're just going to run their routes as best as possible. We talked about the two different routes as we kind of come into the Kraid area. We're gonna go into Norfair after that. Actually, you know, we'll talk about Kraid first, right? Like,
Ah, yes, the good old Kraid quick kill.
yeah. You want me to go into that? I'll dive into how that executes.
It'd probably be better because I'm still trying to get a grasp on it myself.
Sure, no problem. So the Kraid quick kill, it's conceptually very simple. Basically, there are two ways to do it, right? You can do it with a power beam shot or charged power beam shot, gives you a little more flexibility. And then you're gonna shoot Kraid basically in the eye. Then you're gonna wait for Kraid to open up his mouth. At a certain frame, you're gonna fire 4 super missiles right into Kraid, and boom, he's gone. He's down. The other way to do it is to fire 2 missiles. And the second missile is going to hit Kraid in the mouth while it's opening, and then you're going to fire 3 super missiles. So it's the second method conserves a little bit on the super missiles, 1 super missile, but it is a little bit trickier to get the missile super or quick kill on Kraid. We'll see which of our runners does which way, as apathyduck looks to be the first coming into Kraid here. Really nice damage boost there. We're going to see that a number of times as well.
Yeah, another thing I tend to see when dealing with Kraid is that some people will do a charge shot to make sure that the arm stays down for it.
Absolutely, yeah. That's another reason why the charge shot is a little bit easier. There's Duck with the missile quick kill, no problem. And if you blinked, Demon got it too. You missed that. Yeah, these are real quick, folks. Yeah. So this is kind of the area where we may have a divergence in our routes. We'll wait here for ShyGuy and Sasho Boss to kill Kraid here. See how they do. What method they use.
Oh, we're getting prom today, folks.
Oh no, we don't want to see that. All right, Sasho Boss has Kraid down, but ShyGuy a little bit off. He'll be able to recover here, no problem. All right, like one more. Yeah, there we go. All right.
It was a very short prom.
That's okay. Yeah, so that can be tricky if you're not used to that. Kraid gets away from you. Kraid can do a lot of damage to you. And just be a nuisance in general. So, all right.
Looks
so our
like
runner,
apathyduck is going down.
Yeah, our runners are all going to go into Norfair at this point in time. They're going to go over to the Bubble Mountain area, and we talked about a little bit about or we mentioned earlier that our runners may have a route divergence, and I think apathyduck is going to do early ice. We mentioned that before. So what does that mean, right? That means essentially our runners are going to go through Norfair. They're going to pick up the high jump boots. They're going to go over to Bubble Mountain. They're going to pick up those that speed booster, right? We all love that. That makes us go faster. We're speed runners, so we want to go fast. And then from there, and they kind of leave they're gonna pick up Wave, and as they leave the Bubble Mountain area, there's 2 ways that they can go. One is they can go across the Frog Speedway, and then they're gonna come over and pick up the Ice Beam. They're gonna ice escape out of there and go straight up to the wrecked ship. The other option is they can go down. Instead of going to the Frog Speedway, they go down, and they go down to Crocomire, and they pick up Grapple Beam. They fight Croc. They get that extra E-Tank. That's a big difference between these 2 routes, especially going to the wrecked ship. Very, very dangerous. So we'll see which of our runners do that. Any runner that takes the early ice route will look like they are ahead, but we won't actually officially know whether they're ahead of their opponent or not until much, much later in the run when the routes kind of converge. So remember, folks, we have 2 races here tonight. It's apathyduck versus ShyGuy and Sasho Boss versus Lake Demon. So kind of the top 2 runners are racing each other, and the bottom 2 runners are racing each other. All right. Duck coming up that bubble mountain. Oh, King Cack not causing any trouble tonight for Apathy Duck. Man, King Cack will get you every time.
Gets me every time.
Oh, doesn't he, though? Or it, right? Oh, it's a Cack attack. I don't even know.
I believe it's called Cack Attack.
Oh, it is a Cack attack, for sure.
I think I've heard King and I've heard Queen.
Could take either title. All right.
It's a royal pain.
Yeah, for sure. There's one thing that runners could easily miss over those missiles there that Apathy Duck just picked up before the speed boosters. We don't want to make sure that they don't forget that stuff. All right, Sasho Boss past King Cack. Lake Demon also has the speed booster. Meanwhile, ShyGuy's gonna come into Bubble Mountain and see how King Cack treats the ShyGuy.
Yeah, ShyGuy used actually a very good technique to get past the Cack by using Charge Shot, which produces a pseudo screw attack.
Yeah, it's not quite as powerful as the screw attack, but it definitely gets the job done. And I like that technique. That's really nice. Another technique that I've seen is a little bit slow, because what you actually do is you actually morph up, but you morph up and you get there every time. All right, there's Wave Beam for both Apathy Duck and Lake Demon. So now this is kind of the point where our runners' routes could diverge. So we'll see where they want to go, if they go to that Crocomire, or if they go straight over to that Ice Beam. The early Ice route is actually faster. It's the faster of the two routes. But there's a number of really difficult tricks that you have to execute well in order for it to actually save you that time. Oh, all right. Early Ice for Lake Demon. And looks like early grapple for Apathy Duck. All right.
Always nice to see a route divergence.
Yeah. And again, it's going to look like Lake Demon is way ahead of the other runners. But that's not actually the case, because this stuff that Apathy Duck is doing right now, Lake Demon will not have done and will have to do later on in their route. So, yeah, the big thing here that Lake is going to be basically down one energy tank for a good portion of the run, especially with that wreck ship coming up. He's going to only be going in there with 3 E-tanks and that 1 reserve.
Lake with a very nice mock ball out of ice.
Yeah, that ice escape, really, really nicely done there. Basically able to freeze both of the trippers kind of at once and get across the... That's a tight mock ball.
Very tight.
Look at this. Sasho Boss is also taking the early ice route. Alright, but it looks like ShyGuy is going for that early grapple. So this is kind of good for us as far as commentators, right? Because the top 2 runners are racing each other and they're using the same route. And the bottom 2 runners are racing each other and using the same route. And there's an Alpha Spark for Lake Demon. Really nice. Yeah, that's something I like. Oh, go ahead.
Apathy Duck also doing a spark out of through Crocomire's place straight into those missiles. Or,
yeah.
Or power bombs. I can never remember.
Yep. Yeah, they're power bombs up there. Yeah, this is something I really like about 100% is all the shine sparks. You have Alpha Spark. You have Ocean Fly, you have the Full Halfy, you have Gauntlet Spark. There's some really, really cool sparks that we're going to get to see.
Behemoth Spark, if some of them do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right.
I never missed a chance to do that one on a rando seed.
If you got B-Booster, I mean, do it up. Oh, yeah. Oh, Duck. Duck got the first half of Indiana Jones there. Definitely, that's a trick that can get away from you. Just because the grapples are a little bit tight. We'll see if ShyGuy nails that Indiana Jones strat.
Speaking of other strats, apathyduck was doing what is called a short charge.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get up to Indiana Jones after missing the grapple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one really tight stutter. That's stutter 3 probably down there. Yeah, that
I thought it was a stutter 5. Either way, it's a really small area to do it in.
Yeah, it's really, really small. All right.
ShyGuy opting to go to or get the Indiana Jones missile before getting grapple.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's very, very consistent. If you're not if you're unsure about your Indiana Jones, you can go ahead and do that because you've already opened up the blocks on the bottom. You see ShyGuy taking advantage of that, as opposed to having to open up the blocks twice, which is what Duck had to do. So it's a little more consistent for those who are a little fearful of the Indiana Jones strats. Plus, you get to do this. Oh no, ShyGuy bonked. I was gonna say you get to do that mock ball out, which just looks spectacular. But ShyGuy bonked there, unfortunately. So we're not gonna get to see that.
Yeah, speaking of ocean flies, Lake did one just a second ago to get into the wrecked ship, and they are getting ready to fight the Phantoon.
Yeah, Phantoon. Pretty. Now the runners have Varia suit, so it's a little bit easier than any percent. Plus that reserve tank. But you know, Phantoon always a troll. All right, looks like Satchel Boss did not fire a shot, so we're going to be seeing a spark across the moat here, and we'll see if they shine spark across the rest of the ocean or just kind of take it normally. Oh, there's a goop spark. Don't want to see too many of those.
Let's see. Could you explain
Sure.
what goop sparks are?
Yeah, sure. So a goop spark is just kind of a spark in an unintentional direction. You want to spark across to, and you spark up or at an angle there. So we see Satchel Boss actually turning off their beams. So basically what they set up is they set up charge and wave. So that indicates that they're planning to use X factors on Phantoon. It's a lot. From any percent, if you're used to that, you'll normally see what Lake Demon is doing there. That's Dopplers, and that has translated over into 100% because it is much faster since you don't have to take that pause that Sasho did to turn off your beams. Plus the Dopplers are pretty. You can get if you get pretty good with the Dopplers, you can get a pretty consistent 2-round. That's still really, really hard, but you can get that pretty consistently. If you're good enough. But anyway, what Satchel Boss is going to be doing here is they have Power Bomb selected. Basically, what they're going to do is they're going to get Phantoon kind of fly around. They're going to activate the special beam of the wave beam, which basically creates 4 particles, and they're going to get that to slam into Phantoon's eye, and that's going to do super missile damage onto Phantoon. So I'm going to have to do that 2-3 times, depending on how many missiles they end up jamming into Phantoon. Phantoon will be down.
Now, is that per beam or is that all together?
Yeah, no, it's per particle. So that's 300 damage per particle.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
And it also saves from having to worry about raging Phantoon.
It absolutely does. You do not have to worry about that. Here is that spiky death room for Lake Demon. This room so named because many 100% run has died in this room. It's kind of the last room where our runners will have sort of that possibility of dying. It's very dangerous because those platforms, if you turn around on them, you can fall through them. The game considers them enemies. That's called a KO, and they'll do 100 damage to you if you fall through them. Which, as you can see, Lake Demon only really has 124 plus whatever's in reserve there, and you can get hit twice, so that's 200 damage. So if Lake's reserves not filled up, he can be dead. Now has that E-tank though, so kind of in a safe zone.
Or safer zone.
Yeah, safer zone. Yeah, for sure. That's this is kind of the point where, as a 100% runner, you're like, all right, I can breathe a sigh of relief, because the most difficult or maybe the most trolly things that'll kill you are kind of behind you in the run. There's still some difficult things coming up. Of course, we have Draygon, we have Ridley, but it's unlikely that with those bosses, the runners will die. You'll just get trolled and lose some time. All right, Duck here on the Phantoon. Oh, late. Oh, go ahead.
Getting some nice Dopplers in.
Yeah. Lake getting hit by the spark there at the end and losing the speed keep that they were doing. Really unfortunate. It's a really cool strat. You can see that's again use of that morph ball or that mock ball with the blue echoes. You can get a mock ball, and you have after you have that blue echoes, and you can very precisely you can stop and keep that, and then you can use those blue echoes that you have to kind of kill the enemies at the end there. There's a couple of points where you basically runners do that. All right, nice Phantoon there by apathyduck. And we'll see here ShyGuy coming into Phantoon. We'll see how they want to take Phantoon. Definitely, I think Phantoon's the trolliest boss in the game. What do you think?
Most definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Although I put Ridley as a close second.
100%. Close second, Ridley, for sure. It's just by the time you get to Ridley, the only thing that's going to happen to you with Ridley is you don't get him in the right AI mode, or something else weird happens where the Ridley gets out of the pattern that you want him in, and that's kind of it, right? But Phantoon not only can control you with fast mids or slows, right? If something goes wrong in this fight, you can just die, right? You're one missile too early on that Doppler, and you shoot the super missile in, you enrage Phantoon, and boom, now you got to deal with that. Yeah, there you go. Like that just happened to ShyGuy. Phantoon flew over top.
Phantoon seems to be favoring the slows today.
Yeah, Phantoon is kind of just never your friend. Never. Ooh. All right, Duck trying for a shine spark there across spiky room of death there. One thing that kind of happened, you see, he was going a little bit slowly. There's a weird thing that could happen in that room because of the water. But no problem. Got stopped by the platform there and kind of quickly got out of it. Was able to get through the room, no problem.
And it just kind of bonked there.
Yeah. Yep. That's okay, because it takes him out of that like weird slowness that Duck had there. And that again, because of the water, like somehow he ended up retaining water speed with his spark, and that actually costs you a ton of energy because your sign spark in this game eats your energy. So it makes a dangerous room even more dangerous.
Doesn't the same thing happen when you end up shine sparking in sand?
Yeah. I think you go a little bit slower in the sand though. Sand is just terrible in this game.
I always thought that was called the goop spark.
Yeah, the goop sparks just kind of when you go in a direction you don't intend to. But yeah, if you goop, you can goop spark in sand. That is definitely a legit goop spark. All right. So here's Lake Demon. He's gonna be coming up on these criteria power bombs. Gonna open this door. Then so it has 250 plus reserve, and what we're going to be seeing here, most likely, is Lake's going to set up in a specific spot out in out in the room with the ship there, the landing site, and going to fire a shot. It's basically going to wrap around the room. Kind of the memory for the doors is mirrored. And so Lake can fire a shot here down and to the right. And what it'll do is it'll actually open the door all the way on the left. And boom, he takes off this shine spark here. Wants to cap off his energy here. And he's going to go all the way through the gauntlet. Spectacular looking. Really, really nice. We'll see if Lake wants to do the shine spark across the back of the gauntlet. That very, very tricky. Another one of those stutter 3. Nope. All right, all our runners are through the spiky death room here. Only ShyGuy left to get, or ShyGuy and Duck both left to get their gravity suit. All right, Lake taking it slow there through the gauntlet missiles. Doesn't want to miss either of these missile packs. Doing so will mean you have to come all the way around again. And that's just nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to see that. It's really unfortunate. All right, so kind of at this point, as our runners, our remaining runners, or our runners up at the top here, they clean up the rest of the wrecked ship. Our runners here down at the bottom are going to be going into their Brinstar cleanup at this point in time. So we're going to be seeing a lot of those items that you remember are in Brinstar, or you think that they skipped over or whatever. They're going to be using this time through in order to pick up those items. We're going to be seeing the Edicoons here, but hopefully not the Decora. Am I right? Don't want to see the Decora. Or do you? Maybe you want to see the Decora shrimp. You're remaining oddly silent.
Oh, whoops. Had the wrong button pressed.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay, my man.
I am entirely not used to doing push to talk.
That's okay. All right. So yeah, our runners, they don't want to see the Decora. Basically, what that means is they hit those speed boosts, those speed blocks, and they fall all the way down to the Decora pit. It's just a terrible time loss for them.
Yes, what I was saying though is that maybe at the end, see you then.
No, we're speedrunners. We don't want to save the animals. But we'll see. The runners do have the option to save the animals if they so choose. Sometimes I've seen it for runners who, they end up second place in their race. So I've seen them choose to, I'm just going to finish to get the time. That happens more in like group stages. I think this is just the straight up brackets. So We do have a really spectacular prize pool of $2,250 for this tournament. It's really awesome. A lot of really good people came in and donated for this prize pool. So thank everybody who's done that. And we're gonna get to see some really awesome Super Metroid 100% action throughout this tournament. All right, this room that Lake Demon in really kind of notorious in randomizers, where you have to pick up this pink Brin E-Tank.
Yeah, there are a couple setups for that.
Yeah, much easier in 100%. It's basically you're getting it the intended way.
Yeah, what you need to do is set up for what is called a green gate glitch with the blue gates.
Yep.
If you have high jump boots, you basically just get as far to the left as you possibly can. Jump, and I want to say it's like just before that little bubble-like thing above the door.
Yep.
You fire a missile, and if you did it correctly, the door will open and you'll hear the sound for it.
Yep. Now, we're not going to see that green gate glitch tonight. I mean, we could, but very unlikely since our runners all are going to have the wave beam, which is the intended way to open up those blue gates from the backside. But hey, you never know. Maybe that's one cool thing that I like about kind of watching or commentating these tournaments is just you can see all the different things that runners will do, even within, even within certain routes, right? Is they'll just do certain things in slightly different ways, which I think is pretty cool. All right, there's that waterway E-Tank for Demon. All right, no Decora there for Sasho Boss. Able to skip over that. I believe see apathyduck and ShyGuy kind of cleaning up the same areas that Sasho and Demon have been cleaning up. Now, the big difference, I'll remind everybody watching at home, is that Sasho and Lake Demon have chosen the early ice route. So they have not gone down to Crocomire and cleaned up that Crocomire area. You can see kind of in their items, they don't have the grapple beam. So they're going to have to go down there and pick that up later on. And they're actually going to do that after Ridley. So they're going to go into Crocomire. They're going to have plasma beam, face jump, screw attack, all kinds of crazy stuff. And if you are sensitive to light, I will suggest at that point in time that you look away. We'll remind everybody a little bit later on when that gets much closer. So, again, we have two races here tonight. That's apathyduck versus ShyGuy on the top, also known as Metroid MST, and Sasho Boss versus Lake Demon down on the bottom. And we're seeing some. I'm telling you, this is some really great racing here tonight. All these runners are, you know, they're on their game. They're hitting these tricks left and right.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. There's Sasho Boss getting the Spore Spawn skip. Right? Where you can basically have that block that's on the right there, kind of loaded on the screen, but not loaded. It's just like in the perfect spot in memory where you can then fire a shot of a super missile and actually hit it and take it off the board. That'll allow you to get through there. The developers of the game, if you're too far over, were kind of wise to that trick, if you're too far over there and you're just kind of like, oh well, I'll go fight Spore Spawn, forget that noise, it's really slow, I'll just stand up against the wall and shoot the block, because you played through the game once and that's a super missile block there, and you're a speedrunner savvy, you've got those early supers, So yeah, they actually kind of take the block off the screen. You can't hit it unless you are at like the right pixel there, and have the block kind of right on the edge of the screen.
Yeah, a
All
lot
right.
of the runners you see will do the basically just stand. There is another way of doing it. It's a little bit trickier. It's basically where you do a run and jump shot
Yep.
at the precise spot.
Yeah, that's definitely trickier, but you can keep a little bit of speed doing that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some folks doing that in this tournament. I don't know if we'll see anybody do that tonight. The only person left to do this trick is ShyGuy. Lake Demon in probably the most technical section of the game now, and that is Meridia. There's a lot of really it's kind of precise things that runners are going to need to do in this section of the game in order to collect everything most efficiently, right? Just there's a number of things. The enemies in here are going to start to really kind of hit like a truck. This room that Lake Demon is coming into here is probably just the worst room in the game to have to move through. Yeah, look at that, right? Like there's no good way to get through that kind of spot there. You don't have the spring ball yet, which would really make that a little bit easier to optimize, but I'm going to pick up these here missiles at the watering hole. So there's something that apathyduck just laid a power bomb, and our other runners have done that as well. And basically what apathyduck did there was set up for something much later on in the run, almost at the end of the run. There's a power bomb door up above there, and laying that power bomb there actually opens that door. And so later on in the run, when our runners come back to here, they don't have to lay a power bomb and then wait for it to explode. It's now just a blue door, and they can shoot it and go right through. Really cool optimization. All right. Lake going to be coming up here on Botwoon. Botwoon is just an absolute terrible mini boss. It has the worst hitbox in the game. Would you not agree?
It is definitely annoying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of randomizers you won't have charge beam at this point. And if you're not careful, you can soft lock in that area.
Absolutely. Yeah, Lake doing kind of the easier of the X Factor setups there. That's kind of running all the way over to the right, getting the X Factor, and then moving back to the proper position there. All right, Lake Demon going to have just the halfie here. When you shine spark in the previous room there, when you come into the Coliseum here, you're guaranteed only to get the halfie. To get the full halfie, you'd have to actually down back, get all the way into the Coliseum, and then kind of be at a precise height in order to get all the way across. Well, we'll see. Our other runners are going to have an opportunity to complete that full halfie, and we'll see if they can get it. It's definitely a tough trick. Definitely a tough trick. I myself really only go for the halfie still. Yeah. Oh, here, demons at Draygon, and this is something I don't think we talked about, right? Because we have this route divergence, and I know I've mentioned this off the cuff. That our runners on the bottom, they don't have this grapple beam, so that means they have to fight Draygon here, but they have to speed booster kill Draygon. They have basically no other fast option. The runners on the top, they have that grapple beam, so when they get to Draygon here, it's quite possible that there's another goop spark by the lake. It's quite possible that they could use the grapple beam to quick kill Draygon. Something you may do in randomizers quite a bit, right?
You don't see it quite as often. What you do see a lot in there, if they happen to have charge, X-ray, and plasma, is doing what is called a microwave shot.
Oh, the microwave beam. I love that one.
Basically, with plasma beam, it hits several times.
Mhm.
If you use the X-ray per like frame for frame, and you can basically single cycle Draygon. You can also do that against Phantoon if you happen to have it at that
Yep.
point.
And it works against Botwoon too.
Oh yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I stand corrected. There is another time that you would see it, and that's with a GT Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the time you get to all of those bosses, you've already done Ridley, so you'll have everything you need for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That's a really cool strat. GT Classic, my personal favorite category. So Lake Demon there picking up the Botwoon E-Tank. There are 3 opportunities for runners to pick that up, and it's going to be basically up to them which opportunity they decide is appropriate for them to pick up the item. So, you know, no big deal if they skip over it once or twice. All right, Satchel Boss going for that full halfie, but unfortunately lost the Spark suit. That's a really clean Botwoon by Duck there.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am actually curious about this. Is Blue Suit actually considered a major glitch for this?
Well, no. This is 100%. It is a no major glitch category. So anything that you see our runners going to be doing here are not going to be considered a major glitch. So if they get the blue suit off of Draygon here, they're going to want to keep that blue echoes. They could either keep that directly or they can turn that into a spark suit. And that will allow them to run here. On Lake Demon screen, we see Lake Demon setting up here for the major trick in this early ice route, and that's this ice clip to spring ball. Looks like he's having a bit of trouble setting it up. Okay, has a good setup here at this point in time. This is a setup that I actually like to use. Puyo looks no, yeah, okay, good. All right, looked like maybe he was a pixel off, but all he had to do was kind of reset there. That's the major trick. If you can get that on the first try, you have to get that on the first try. You can save up to like 20 seconds with this route. You may hear slightly different numbers for that. And you know, it really depends on kind of your execution. How much time,
speaking of the blue suit, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
Sasho actually just got it.
Yeah. So, this is really cool. We're going to see this kind of reverse halfie from Sasho. And there it is. That's the thing you can do with that. And you'd either have the blue suit there that Sasho had, which is a little bit slower because you can't hit the run button while you do that. Otherwise, you'll activate the spark. And if you do that, then you won't have it at the appropriate time. If you turn that into the spark suit, you can hit the run button, which is why that's just a little bit faster there. All right, so there's that spring ball for Lake Demon. So we're going to be seeing cool spring ball strats from Lake Demon. All right, Duck doing just a womble jump. Does not have the blue suit or the spark suit. Meanwhile, ShyGuy picking up those missiles at the watering hole. Yeah, Lake's going to be coming up here to the plasma beam. And that, as you mentioned, integral part of the microwave beam. One of the reasons why we're not going to see the microwave beam here in this, all the bosses that would be good against are already defeated, number one. And number two, no runner is going to pick up that X-ray scope until pretty much dead last. That's one thing that actually, if you're not used to running 100%, switching your items and item canceling actually become really, really important.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
If I had to guess, a pretty good reason why a lot of runners will wait to pick it up last is because it's one extra thing they have to cycle if they're choosing to basically just cycle through the items instead of canceling it.
That's correct. That is exactly why it is last. And, oh man, that was a really, really nice ice clip there by Sasho Boss. That trick is definitely really, really tricky to get. This early ice route, the route that I prefer. I love that ice clip. But it's tricky. It's absolutely tricky. There is a kind of a faster setup that Sasho used versus the kind of more consistent method that Lake Demon used. So that kind of stuff right there, you can see the differences between each of our runners. All right. So here we're going to see the normal way, or the intended way, that apathyduck is going to be using the grapple beam to kind of break this block. This is the developer intended way to get up here.
The intended strats, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Did you say Nintendo strat? Oh, no.
Isn't that a category all on its own?
Oh, Lake Demon did a speed keep and tried to bust through the blocks and is now stuck. Lake Demon is unfortunately soft locked. That is heartbreaking. That is absolutely heartbreaking.
That is definitely unfortunate to see.
Yeah. Oh no. That is a very, very dangerous thing that can happen if you do that strat, where you break through the blocks in that way, and you can just get stuck. And those are speed booster blocks, and if they've reformed, you cannot, that amount of space, you cannot get a spark. So you are not going to be able to break those blocks. You cannot get those echoes, and that's.
You just hate to see it.
I do. Yeah, I do. I really do. I think everybody does. That is a really, really tough way to lose. I mean, look at how far we're into this race.
Yeah, it would be incredibly hard to come back from that.
Yeah, officially, Lake has actually forfeit from the race. Now, it's not over until Sasho completes the race and verifies 100%. So if something happens to Sasho, then Lake can kind of come back, can rejoin the race. That means Lake's going to have to absolutely reset from Sierra Station. But that is a possibility. There's a space jump for ShyGuy. Oof. Those enemies in the Cassius Climb here giving Duck just a little bit of trouble. That is, these vertical rooms in Super Metroid can just absolutely be pretty tricky sometimes. All right, it looks like Lake has reset here, and it's going to come back from the save in the ship. I actually forgot there's an automatic save here. So Lake can start from this position. Yeah, ShyGuy picking up that E-tank on the third. I think that's the third visit. I like to do that, unless my energy is really low on that second visit. So that's kind of a strat thing. That's a strat choice that you'll see runners make. As they run through Meridia. Again, Meridia, very, very technical section. you know, there's a lot of tricks in here, things that can go wrong. We see Lake got stuck in those speed blocks, and Duck here in the Cack alley. Very precise to move through that room and get through it efficiently. All right, Sasho picking up the last 2 items here in Meridia, and is going to be heading out into Norfair after this, and going to be going down to lower Norfair at this point in time. So this is where we're going to be seeing that vaunted Ridley fight. You mentioned that Ridley is the second trolliest boss earlier there, Shrimp.
Yes, but first we've got the most annoying Torizo to deal with.
Oh, so you know, in 100%, Golden Torizo, we're gonna see our runners. They're gonna use a trick, and Golden Torizo is not gonna be not gonna be a problem for our runners tonight. There's a spot where our runners are gonna just kind of jam Golden Torizo up against the wall. And they've got that Ice Wave Plasma charge, and they're going to use that, and they're going to double hit Golden Torizo, and it's going to be a cakewalk. The Golden Torizo's not even going to be able to hit them.
But in general, his room is still annoying.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Getting to Golden Torizo is definitely one of those. Yeah, it's tricky for sure. So, all right. Excuse me.
Oh yes, a little side note, it is possible to microwave Golden Torizo, it's just nowhere near as effective.
I don't think I've ever tried it.
I've done it a couple of times, but it's not even worth doing it, to be honest.
Yeah, so yeah, when I when I do either do 100% or I do 100%, I wouldn't have the X-ray scope. But if I do GT Classic, yeah, I just do the same setup. We're going to see here in a moment. So we're going to see Sasho here take the southern route here. Go down here through basically this speed. Oh shoot, I forget the name of this room.
The intended Crocomire route.
Yeah. Yep. That's correct. This is kind of the way that the developers intended you to get to Crocomire. But yeah, as you see, Sasho skips over going to Crocomire. That's our route here is going to take us to Ridley first. But we want to pick up the missiles there in the Crumble Shaft. We don't want to miss those. All right.
It looked like Sasha was trying to set up for a D-boost into the lava dive room. Didn't quite get it, but they with a space jump, it's really easy to get out of there.
Yeah, that's very common. That damage boost into the lava there. You can actually use that and travel all the way across the water, which is really nice. Here, this Sasho getting those blue echoes, and what that actually does is that actually lets him space jump through the fire pillars there. They're going to shoot up through that room. If you don't have that those blue echoes, as you space jump through there, you can't time it properly to not get hit by those things. And it just sucks as just a terrible, terrible, sucky time loss. Nobody likes that.
You have to remember, I'm not used to seeing Gold Torizo from this route. Usually when I see it, it's from behind.
Mm-hmm.
Because more often than not, you don't really have to face Golden Torizo in a randomizer. Because you can do what is called the Green Gate glitch. I had mentioned it earlier for the wave room. or wave gate room.
Mm-hmm.
This was pretty much where you would do it in a randomizer or GT Classic.
Yeah, yeah, I like that GT Classic run. Some really cool stuff that happens in there. Basically, turns into kind of a boss rush. But yeah, there it was. That's kind of that trick. You see, Sasho kind of set up right next to that pillar. Got Golden Torizo jammed across against the wall there. It didn't even take any damage, and it's just 8 shots. They double hit in with that Ice Wave plasma. And it's just very, very simple. And anytime you kind of have that set up, you can do that just as easy. Even in randomizer, you can get that set up where Golden Torizo's jammed across the against the wall there. And if you want to kill Golden Torizo with like supers or whatever, that trick still works. So put that in your back pocket, folks at home. And next time you fight Golden Torizo, make your life easier. All right, Sasho here is going to have to remember to go up here to get the Mickey Mouse missiles. Another one of these missiles that are kind of out of the way. If you were younger, this probably trolled you to find that vaunted 100%.
Thank goodness for the Nintendo Power Magazine.
Yeah, for real. This and the missiles in Mama Turtle Room in Meridia, which we saw all of our runners pick up already. All right, there's that Golden Torizo for apathyduck. Meanwhile, ShyGuy coming over here into the warehouse. And this is because we actually need power bombs to pick up some missiles over here. Now, Duck and Sasho have already picked these up. There's kind of 2 opportunities to pick them up. One is before Ridley, and the other is after Ridley. Most runners will pick them up before Ridley so they don't forget them. There's a third kind of route that we haven't seen tonight where runners can pick up early power bombs. They can pick up those alpha power bombs, and they'll pick up those missiles the first time they come through here, but when they go to fight Kraid. That I think a much rarer route. I think Zosty is basically kind of one of the few people that does that, besides myself, just because I'm weird. But I like that. There's a couple of things that actually that early power bombs actually enables for you. So I really like that. I like my route.
I just remembered another spot where you can actually microwave.
Mm-hmm.
The Metal Pirates room where Sasha was just in.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually microwave them. A lot of runners I've seen in the randomizer do it out of spite because they don't like those things.
They can be very tricky, especially if you get them if you get them out of sync. So here's Sasha on that Ridley fight. It's going to be 20 of these charged Ice Wave plasma shots to take Ridley down. Looks like Sasha's got Ridley managed kind of in the way that they... maybe I spoke too soon. Yep. Commentator's curse. I apologize, Sasha.
Isn't it always the way?
It is always the way.
It's about like finding your first set of power bombs over in Cathedral in a randomizer.
Oh, that is nasty. Oh, man, Duck. K going through that bottom platform there and falling into the acid. Yeah. That's just unfortunate something. All right. Meanwhile, Lake looks like doing a number of different major glitch categories that I can think of here. Any one of a number here. All right, gonna save before they go and do whatever it is they're about to do. And here is Ridley for the duck.
I do not know why, but I keep thinking of a particular Disney movie when I see that, or I see Duck's name.
Those ducks were mighty, as opposed to apathetic.
That is true. And then you've got the duck that rages.
Well, you know, we're the duck that could carry you, but that's a different game. All right, Ridley down for the duck, picking up the Ridley E-Tank. It's a really, really nice kind of refill there before you, right after you just get trolled by Ridley. All right, ShyGuy going to be coming into Golden Torizo here. Right. Gets those missiles. You don't want to drop down below those crumble blocks there, folks. Doing that will mean that you have to go all the way back around to collect those missiles. That is just major time loss. Super suckage.
So time consuming.
Yeah, it looks like Lake is possibly doing any percent glitched, but could also be doing Rambo. This is a setup for Rambo as well, I think. To the question in chat about what Lake is doing. All right, there is Golden Torizo down for ShyGuy. Yeah, that column strat there. Just kind of hide all the way right. You can actually do that same thing all the way to the left, but it's significantly slower because you have to get Golden Torizo all the way over to the left. If you line up on Golden Torizo's foot, as Golden Torizo kind of unfreezes, Golden Torizo will immediately jump back to the right, and then you can line up on that column. Just kind of have your back right to that column there that you see in the background. And Golden Torizo will just stay there. All right, there's the Franker Z missiles there for a Sasho boss. These another one of those missiles you can kind of easily remember. Duck in the Hodarubi room here, getting the Hodarubi missiles. Hodarubi in this tournament, by the way. So we'll get to see them later on. Really exciting to see all the runners that have come out for this tournament. This is, I think I said it before, but an absolutely fantastic tournament that we've got here for you folks at home. So stay tuned to that schedule to check out all the Super Metroid action that is coming your way.
Oh, yes, and be sure to give these runners a follow. They are fantastic people.
Oh, yeah. They're putting on a wonderful show for you tonight or this morning or wherever you are in the world watching. All right, so Sasho here is going to be doing the Norfair cleanup. Now, this Norfair cleanup is also going to include going down to Crocomire after picking up this reserve tank here and the missiles that are up here. There's one more pack of missiles that Sasho is going to want to go get. That's in the Bubble Mountain area. And then it's going to be going down to Crocomire. So we see here Duck is going to be kind of doing the same thing. And this actually is kind of the point where our routes are going to converge. So it's right after, it's going to be right after Croc for Sasho and kind of right after where Duck is. So what they're basically going to do is they're going to go out and they're going to go pick up the X-ray scope. And when they go out to pick up the X-ray scope, that's where our routes converge. And so we'll kind of have an idea of which of the runners are ahead for the route that they chose. Now, remember, folks, we have two races here, and that is apathyduck versus ShyGuy and Sasho Boss versus Late Demon. But that comparison, you can kind of see where Sasho is in their run versus the other runners, Duck and ShyGuy, who took the other route. So you can kind of get an idea of how these routes will play out if you want to so choose to do them on your own at home. Which I recommend. You know, we have an awesome Discord community, right, Shrimp? Very welcoming. You know.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so some awesome people, and they'll teach you strats and tricks and all kinds of stuff. All right, so ShyGuy in on Ridley. Let's see how Ridley decides to troll ShyGuy. Oof. Ridley, stop tailing ShyGuy. Oh man, oh. All right, there is a nice pogo for ShyGuy. That's kind of what you want to see. You can kind of just stand on the edge there, pound away, shots at Ridley. All right, there is a croc down for Sasho.
Yeah, the interesting thing about coming to Croc after defeating Draygon is that it only takes one charged plasma shot to take him down.
Yeah. Yes, I don't know if the developers... I don't think they actually ever tried that. Because, yeah, that it just seems very unintended, the way that works out.
It's most likely something that slipped under the radar for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at, kind of how the way the game is set up, there's not really a good way for you to get to Crocomire without having, or with the plasma beam, without having gotten the grapple beam first to kind of go get that plasma beam, which necessitates you having to have gone to Croc first. I think that the developers were very set on you coming here first before. But it's great for us. What 20? 1994, right? So we're 2020. So 26 years later.
Yep.
Yeah. I can do math. All right, so there we see Duck going through that door that I mentioned earlier that was opened up with the power bomb. It's just a blue door now, so make it just that much faster to get through the door, not having to wait for that power bomb, and is in the kind of retro Brin cleanup. So this is going to be the last items we're going to see our runners collect here. We've got 101 fanfares. Yes, that includes the fanfare that we get out of the Edicoons. And we're going to pick up all the items here. So here's that E-tank in the ceiling. That's something that runners could theoretically get much, much earlier, but we don't see that. You don't see that too often. There is a safety route that we'll get that for earlier. And then we're going to see Duck kind of pick up here the Billy Mays missiles. Because there's more.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen Billy Mays hold supers and be the earliest spots for them in a randomizer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, randomizer, this is definitely a lot of fun. There's that too, folks. So if you want to learn some speed running stuff, get into 100%, translate that over to randomizer, just another way to play Super Metroid. A lot of these strats and tricks that you're seeing here tonight in the 100% route, they'll translate into they won't translate. Some of these won't translate too well into any percent from 100%. But things like short charging mock balls, they'll translate into basically anything. Randomizer, any percent, GT Classic, all that kind of stuff. All right, Lake. Looks like they have the setup here for the X-ray climb. So this is either into Mother Brain or straight into kind of the escape. Not sure which they're setting up.
I can never be sure when it comes to X-ray climbs.
Yeah, I mean they're just traveling through the game's memory here now. Oh no, that last bouillon just got you. All right, yeah, it looks like apathyduck is just gonna kind of reset here. Just fired off a little bit too early. No, I don't think you have enough base there. Yeah, this room. That room is just super, super annoying. There you go. All right, Duck's got it. And, yeah, those, the last super missiles we're going to be seeing our runners pick up here. Duck's got those. Yeah, those blue ions. Basically, there's a spot right where you want to shoot off your fully charged Ice Wave Plasma Beam. And Duck was just a little bit too early on it. And it'll freeze all 4 of them as you run across, and you'll be able to keep your echoes, and get that shine spark up. All right, Lake has got the correct memory location, and boom, there it is. Lake is done. That not being the category we're running, however. All right, Sasho coming up into Billy Mays here. Meanwhile, Duck picking up the 230 missiles. 230. Maybe he's got to go see the dentist. Missiles. I know y'all went ugh on that one. All right. Yeah, that means Torian is what is left for Duck. Sasho picking up those Billy Mays missiles. So Duck has a pretty good lead here over ShyGuy. Much closer is Sasho, but remember, folks at home, Sasho was racing Lake, and Lake unfortunately got soft locked in Meridia earlier in the run, about 50-some minutes in, and has since forfeit. So ShyGuy still has a bit of cleanup here to do after picking up this X-ray scope in Brinstar. So, but Sasho is going to be coming up here, up the elevator, pick up the 230 missiles, and then is going to be going over to Tourian. So Tourian, a very technical section of the run. You know, even if you're doing randomizers, right? Just being able to optimize through the Metroid room. Or the Metroid rooms it can be tricky, you know?
It all depends on what you've gotten up to that point.
Yeah. Well,
if
these
you
runners
haven't gotten ice beam or bombs, you have to use power bombs on these things, and it takes about 3 of them to take out a single Metroid.
Well, lucky for these runners, they have everything. Oh, Sasho clipping on the top of the block there. Able to recover, though, no problem. Yeah, one cool trick about that room there is if you actually do the diagonal spark, if you crouch there just before you do that, you jump up and do that diagonal spark, you can actually run into the super missile and just auto pick it up there.
Huh, neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is really cool. A little bit. It's certainly a little bit faster because you're waiting for the crash animation through the fanfare, rather than having to wait for, you get both of those kind of at once, as opposed to having to wait for the crash, then pick up the item, and then wait for the fanfare. All right.
Apathyduck is setting up to most likely do the baby skip, and looks like they are indeed going for it.
Yeah, this really, really cool trick. Definitely difficult. You got to get the baby skipping around you kind of pretty precisely. Looks like Duck is taking it safer Yeah. All right. Taking a couple extra jumps there to ensure that the baby floats around Duck and Duck gets through the room, no problem.
Now, what happens if the baby catches you just before you exit? You end up going at a snail's pace for the rest of the
No,
match.
we don't want that, man. Oh, we don't want that. All right, so Duck going to be going for the Zebetite skip here. Still has screw attack on, so yeah, looks like going to be going for okay, going to be going through the second one. That something more common to see in GT Classic, but nice to see that here in 100%. There's a variety of methods that our runners could use. They could use the speed booster Zebetite skip. They could use the ice Zebetite skip. Either the kind of the standard one or the down back to get through the first Zebetite, or they could do what Duck did, which will get through the second one.
That is honestly the first time I've ever seen the second one skip.
Yeah, that I guess more popular in GT Classic runs these days. I think somehow it ends up being a little bit faster. So there's a question in chat, and it is, can they watch the opponent's stream in this 100% tournament? That is absolutely valid. No problems. Our runners can watch their opponent's stream. Our runners can watch this stream. They could be listening to us prattle on about what's going on, all while running their race. Kind of whatever distractions that they're comfortable with. They do want to have their microphones off, of course, so we can use their audio. Yeah, that not being disallowed to watch their opponent's stream is usually a randomizer requirement. Of course, because you could then see locations that you've not already checked, and basically, you know, kind of figure out some things before you've actually checked them, and you know, not within the spirit of randomizer. Most randomizer tournaments will disqualify you if you do stuff like that. So, apathyduck here setting up for the stand-up glitch. This really cool thing that you get to see here. 100% randomizers. GT Classic will all kind of showcase this in various ways. There's a couple of things here that can go wrong. Duck being very careful to kind of back away. That way, we'll keep the baby away from kind of that zone where it can get stuck, and Mother Brain will like never hit it. Another thing that Duck wants to be careful of is charging up when the beam gets shifted over, getting stuck into the floor improperly, like being turned around. We actually saw that in the qualifiers. I believe it was Zenny got turned around, and the game kind of glitches out and runs really, really slow. That was very, very unfortunate for Zenny. I think it was the very first qualifier, actually. But yeah, those are just some of the things that can go wrong here. Luckily, none of that happened for Duck, and it was a really spectacular Mother Brain fight, and Duck is onto the escape here. Meanwhile, Sasho through the Metroid rooms, and he'll be coming into the baby skip here, and ShyGuy just gets that statue down. So here, you were talking about that behemoth spark. Hopefully that's coming up here for you, boiled shrimp, right?
But first, we're going to get the last Moonfall of the game from Duck.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep skipping over all these Moonfalls. They save so much time throughout the run.
Will we see it?
Yeah, well, we're going to see a spark.
Not the behemoth spark, though.
All right, up the right side, no problem.
And nope to the animals.
Yeah, no, I don't think. at this point in time, right, if I'm Duck and I'm not watching the restream, I just go straight to the goop spark up in the landing site. Oh no, I go straight to the ship. I guess this is Duck playing around there. All right. So apathyduck has done with an official SRL time of 1 hour 24 minutes 29 seconds. Now we do have to verify that Duck has the 100%. So we got to make sure of that. But based on what we saw, I do believe that Duck has the 100%. But we're gonna wait through the credits and find out. Meanwhile, we see ShyGuy getting caught by the baby there, but it was able to turn around and face to the right. That saves about 40 frames in Samus's stand-up animation. It's just something, you know, if you're at home, you know, you don't know that baby skip, you wanna try a speed run of Super Metroid out, you know, all these tricks are a little too much. That's something that you can do. All you really have to do is damage down, turn around, face to the right, and then boom. Samus won't go into that special stand-up animation that only happens when she's facing to the left. All right, here is Zebetite skip. Pretty standard one there for ShyGuy. Getting it first try. Always nice to see. And Sasha, meanwhile, pounding away on Mother Brain 3 after that, well, beautifully executed stand-up.
Now let's see if Sasho decides to do the Behemoth Spark. Oh, and there's a bonk.
Yeah.
There is a little trick I've seen occasionally on randomizers when some runners happen to have a speed booster there. It's called the Blue Bomber.
Yeah, so you can do that in 100%. That actually requires Spring Ball as well.
And high jump.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Spring Ball, high jump, and the speed booster. Yeah, all three of those items. Yeah, that's a really cool thing. I was kind of hoping to see that, but I don't think ShyGuy does that. So it is I think it's a touch faster because it saves that crash animation. All right. And Sasho Boss has finished their race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 50 seconds. So, meanwhile, as we watch ShyGuy finish up here, that means once we verify the 100% for Sasho, that means that Sasho will be the winner of their race versus Lake Demon. And there's the 100% for apathyduck. So it is confirmed. apathyduck is the winner over ShyGuy. But we're going to see here, watch ShyGuy finish out strong.
GG's to apathyduck.
Absolutely. GG's to both at Duck and Sasho here. These are really good times here. An hour and 24 minutes, hour 27 minutes for ShyGuy and Sasho. It just goes to show, you know, how tough the competition was. To even kind of qualify for this this tournament here. We had a lot of runners come out. I think that first qualifier there were near 40 runners.
Yeah, that is quite a few runners.
Oh, right, yeah. We do have Duck with us. Hey, Duck, how are you doing?
Hey,
So, what was going through your mind as you were going through here? 100%, right? You run this dozens of times. Talk us through the race a little bit.
well, I missed everything in possibly the worst way to miss it, so that was pretty bad. Just that's what Hundo is. It's mistakes really pile up on you, and there's a lot of like just really awful mistakes, and like especially for the guys in the bottom half of the bracket, you just kind of expect them to PB by like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
This is how you're gonna lose one of those races. Like combine all the mistakes I made plus like just gauntlet or GT miss or something, and ShyGuy had a real strong chance. So
yeah,
fortunately able to kind of hold it together. But this is my worst run all week. I've been on like high 122 pace pretty much all week. Whether or not I got baby skip or not was the only difference between a 22 and a 23. So pretty rough.
There's still more to come. You can take this one. You've got this one in the bank, and we certainly wish you better luck with the shoring up those things that you were unhappy with in this run. We are also joined by Sasho Boss. How you doing tonight, Sasho? I hope I got your name right.
Yeah, it's all good. Not too bad. How are you?
Great. So why don't you walk us through your run tonight? What was going through your mind as you were
Well, if you'd have a look at my splits, the run was just all over the place. Like that Phantoon fight was so bad. Oh my god. What else was there? The late game was actually pretty good. I missed baby skip, of course. Like I've practiced that so much, and I always miss 8 runs. Other than that, it was okay. The early game was pretty good for me, other than the bombs time though. But yeah, when I saw that Lake Demon had forfeit, I was kind of surprised. What happened there?
So, unfortunately, Lake Demon went to go get the missiles and the super missiles in the aqueduct, and got locked in between the speed whooshing blocks.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
that was bad.
Yeah, Lake was actually ahead of you at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that's really, really tough. I think in the last 100% tournament that actually happened to Oats and Goats, right? As well. So yeah, I mean, like, look, it doesn't matter how good you are. These things can happen to you. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's why I don't really go for that strat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's certainly a tough thing, and it's sad to see, right? You hate to kind of see that happen to runners.
I'd hate if that were me.
Yeah. Lake did do an any percent major glitch run and successfully completed that before any of you guys completed the game. Sadly, that doesn't count. But yeah, but yeah. So, do you guys know, what the possibility for your next opponent is? I haven't actually taken a look at the brackets.
Well, I think I'm versing Asda in the next round.
Oh, all right. That'd be a tough race. I'd like to see how that goes for you guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one.
Duck, do you know?
Yeah, some guys washed up.
Is that their name?
No, it's Fuzda.
Oh,
caught me off guard with that one.
You did. Yeah, the Fuzu will be definitely a tough opponent. So you wanna bring your A game. Maybe you shook out all of the kinks in this race here tonight, so you can have a good race.
Yeah, this isn't gonna do it. I don't care how washed he is. This isn't gonna cut it.
Yeah. That's spectacular. It doesn't look like MST is going to be joining us. And I don't know if Lake will be joining us either.
Oh, also, I PB'd that run, by the way.
Did you? I saw that on the SRL, and I wasn't sure if that was actually your personal best. So congratulations to that.
Thanks, I forgot to mention it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's always good to see. I was running Zelda randomizer and blew a PB the other day. So that's
nice.
I can understand. Yeah, it's super frustrating. I can understand, but it's always good to see when somebody gets a PB.
Yep.
So yeah. Sadly I don't think those other guys are going to join us. So do you folks have any other thoughts on the night here before we send it off?
I'm surprised I won that race. I was expecting to lose by a mile, but I guess these things happen.
And this is why we actually race them.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, just GG's to ShyGuy and Lake Demon. Yeah, like I said, well, I wasn't particularly happy with how I ran, but just gotta hopefully a little bit more than a week to clean some of this stuff up. Got to do some any % for the quals tomorrow. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Speed Gaming has a lot of really cool stuff coming up. There's a number of Super Metroid things going on with their Speed Gaming Live. I think that's next month, right?
We actually have a race coming up right after this one. That's part of the 100% tournament. It's going to be Zeb 316 versus Thornetto. Right on here on Speed Gaming, number 1.
Yeah. That schedule. We'll get to that in just a second. So yeah, there's lots more action to go. Any other thoughts, folks?
That should be it for me.
Yeah,
All
GG to Sasha on the PB. Way to slip
Great.
that in there, real casual at the end.
Yeah,
thanks,
congratulations.
Man. GG.
Absolutely. All right, awesome. Shrimp, any thoughts from you?
It was definitely a very entertaining match to watch on both sides. Again, it's unfortunate
that's good
what
to
happened
hear.
to Lake.
Yep. Yeah, very, very entertaining. Absolutely awesome. All right, folks. As Shrimp said, we do have a match coming up here at 11 p.m. So in a little over 15 minutes, Zeb 316 versus Thornetto right here on Speed Gaming. At 12:01 a.m., we also have Gil 42 versus P Toil, Speed Gaming 2. And at 12:30 a.m., we have White Mage Becky versus Jay Chalky. That's going to be on Speed Gaming 3. And then tomorrow at 10 p.m., all these times are Eastern time, Sir Hoptat versus Nintoaster. So there's tons of great Super Metroid 100% action coming your way. Be sure to check out the schedule. Give these runners a follow. And we will see you all next mission.